Hello everybody, getting ready to do lesson 4.2, dividing fractions for 6th grade math. Part 1 and Part 2 and Part 3 are available here, as well as any other materials for the 6th grade math course are available at this email here. 4.2, dividing fractions, the number system, Part 1. And we have a 25-point skill sheet today for classwork, and we have 2 points here for notebook taking students. So teachers, today's bell work is multiplying here, students. So multiply this out. Give your students about 3-4 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Number 1 up here is 30 for 6 times 5, 72. 110 and 56 students. You should know these now as mental math. Notebook to entry number 1. Explore activity today will be modeling fraction division. Excuse me. In some division problems, you may know a number of groups and need to find how many or how much are in each group. In other division problems, you may know how many there are in each group and need to find the number of groups. There's motives behind using division. So we have a situation here. We have a area model here. So we have 1/8, right? So students, these are 1/8 here of this total bar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this would be 7 and this is 8. So each one of these compartments here is 1/8. How much is this here? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what would this be in eighths, students? They get out of there. It would be 3/4 because it would be 6/8. And then what is 6/8 simplify to? Be 3/4. So this is the basis of division is dividing a certain segment up into equal amounts here of eighths here. This bar will be divided into. That's the basis of division. That's what fractions are, or kind of like signifiers for division. You have 3/4 cup of salsa for making burritos. Each burrito requires 1/8 cup. How many burritos can you make? So the question is, how many eighths are there in 3/4 is the question. To find the number of burritos that you can be made, you need to determine how many 1/8 cup servings are in 3/4 cups. Use the diagram. How many eighths are there in 3/4 is the question. So, how many eighths are there in 3/4? How will we determine that? I mean, going back to our area model that we did, we found out that there were 6 eighths in 3/4. Remember, there were 6 compartments in that spatial model. And how do we get 6 mathematically? How do we get 6 without using an area model? So you have enough to make 6 burritos, but how do we get 6 out of 3/4 in eighths? How do we get 6 eighths out of? Okay, so our next problem here would be to find out 5 people share a half-pound cheese. How much cheese does each person receive for 5 people of a half-pound? Here's our half-pound here. This is a whole pound here of cheese. This would be like 1 pound of cheese, and we have 1/2 of it divided up in between 5 people. So in our area model here, here's our 5 people. So how much cheese would each of the 5 people get if they were to divide up a half-pound? Is the question here. What size of a pound is each one of these sections here? Is the question. So, and that's the question. How much is in each part? So this is 1/2 pound here. This is 1/2 pound. And we have to divide 1/2 pound into 5 parts. So how much would each part be of a pound? It'd be 1/10, right? So 1/10, 1/10 of a pound would each person get. Situation there. So Write the division shown by each model. So we're going to jump right into division here. 3/4 divided by 1/8 is 6. And it's like, well, write the division shown by each model. Remember the first one was 3/4 divided by 8 was 6. And then 1/2 divided by 5 is 1/10. So how do we get these here is the question. I mean, didn't we multiply 6 times 3, see 1/8 here. Wait a minute, how do we get 1/8? We multiplied 2 times 4 to get 8, then 2 times 3 would equal 6. And then 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 1 is 5. So that would be how we would get 1/2 divided by 5 would be 1/10 for this one. Okay, reciprocals. So another way to divide fractions is to use reciprocals. Two numbers whose product is 1 are reciprocals. So 3/4 divided by, or rather times 4/3 would equal 12/12 equals 1. And then therefore the 3/4 and 4/3 are reciprocals. So this is flipped from 3/4. To find the reciprocal of a fraction, switch the numerator and denominator. So in this case here, we have a numerator over denominator, and then we just flip it. Denominator over numerator, and then this would equal 1. These cancel, and then when you cancel, you have 1. 1/1 equals 1. So moving on here into our next example 1 here. Find the reciprocal of each number. 2/9 will be the reciprocal of that. So switch numerator and denominator, it would be 9/2. So there's your solution there. And then for B, what's the reciprocal of 1/8? Switch numerator and denominator, it would be 8/1. What did we do? The reciprocal of 1/8 is 8/1. And then C, what's the reciprocal of 5? Rewrite as a fraction. So how do we write a whole number as a fraction? 5/1. And then to find the reciprocal of that, switch the numerator and denominator. It'd be 1/5, so the reciprocal of 5 be 1/5. And that is lesson 4.2, part 1, part 2, part 3, available here, as well as worksheets and other classroom material for this course. Thank you.